Iran has been warning the US and Israel against continued Israeli offensive against Hamas. In the past few days, its officials, including the Foreign Ministry, has several times threatened the US directly. Iran's Foreign Minister, Hossein Amirabdollahian, warned that if Israel's ongoing retaliation against Palestine doesn't end, then the United States will not be spared from this fire. But Iran's stance could eventually lead to utter humiliation if it actually takes some action apart from verbal threats. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes why Iran must not forget the fate of its F-4 in 2013 against the F-22 Raptor before going to war against the US. Let's get started. Before we proceed, a word on NordVPN, which is one of the most trusted VPN brands worldwide that has a no-log policy validated by Deloitte, an industry-leading Big Four auditing firm. NordVPN provides an encrypted tunnel that protects your privacy by preventing external entry to your internet traffic, as well as enabling you to access content that's blocked based on geolocation. Best of all, with one NordVPN account, you can secure up to 6 devices at the same time. Get an exclusive NordVPN deal with massive savings by going to nordvpn.com/defense or clicking the link in the description. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. In 2013, Pentagon Press Secretary George Little had said that an IRIAF, Islamic Republican of Iran Air Force, F-14 Phantoms, attempted to intercept a U.S. MQ-1 drone flying in international airspace off Iran. As reported back in March 2013, one of the 2 F-4 Phantom jets came about 16 miles or 25 kilometers from the drone at one point of the engagement. At this point, they were broadcast a warning message by 2 American planes escorting the Predator, and they broke off from the pursuit. Viewers may note that the Pentagon had decided to escort the drones, conducting intelligence surveillance reconnaissance (ISR) missions with fighter jets after 2 Sukhoi Su-25 attack planes operated by Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps attempted to shoot down an American MQ-1 a few months earlier to this incident. On September 17th, Chief of Staff General Mark Welsh provided details of the episode involving the F-4 Phantoms. He stated that the fighter jets providing HVAAE, high-value air asset escort, were F-22 Raptors. Now comes the interesting part. He was quoted as saying he, the Raptor pilot, flew under their aircraft, the F-4s, to check out their weapons load without them knowing that he was there, and then pulled up on their left wing, and then called them and said, "You really ought to go home." So, according to official communication, the Raptor was able to sneak under the F-4s undetected, and the F-4s were basically sitting ducks for the Raptors. The F-4 Phantom II is a tandem 2-seat, twin-engine, all-weather, long-range, supersonic jet interceptor and fighter bomber originally developed by the United States Navy by McDonnell Aircraft. It first entered service in 1960 with the U.S. Navy. It was later adopted by the U.S. Marine Corps and the U.S. Air Force, and by the mid-1960s had become a major part of American aerial force. The Phantom is a large fighter with a top speed of over Mach 2.2. It can carry more than 18,000 pounds, or 8,400 kilograms of weapons on 9 external hardpoints, including air-to-air missiles, air-to-ground missiles, and various bombs. It was designed to be an air superiority fighter and was used extensively during the Vietnam War. During the 1960s and 1970s, the U.S. and Iran were on friendly terms, and America sold 225 F-4D, F-4E, and RF-4E Phantoms to Iran. After the relations between the two countries nosedived, America refused to provide parts and maintenance support. Iran has managed to keep around 40 of these jets in working condition, mainly by cannibalizing parts and reverse engineering. F-4 Phantom remains the backbone of the Iranian Air Force since it's not been able to acquire Western jets due to sanctions, and a deal to acquire Su-35 from Russia has not materialized. It does possess a few other fighters like MiG-29 and F-14 in limited numbers, but most are not in working order. F-22 Raptor is the most sophisticated fighter jet in the world. Even after around 2 decades since its deployment, there's nothing to match it. It's the first operational aircraft to combine super cruise and super maneuverability. Super cruise is the ability to have sustained supersonic flight without having to use the highly inefficient afterburners. F-22 incorporates super maneuverability, with which it can pull off demanding maneuvers like the Pugachev's Cobra, and makes it an excellent close-range dogfighter. F-22 has a very powerful radar. The AN/APG-77 radar features a low-observable, active aperture, electronically scanned array that can track multiple targets under any weather conditions. It has a range of around 400 kilometers against a 1 square meter target. F-22 Raptor is developed from the ground up to be stealthy. F-22 is actually the stealthiest fighter ever built and has a very low RCS, or radar cross-section, of only 0.0001 square meter. It achieves this due to its structural design, as well as the use of radar-absorbing materials, or RAM. It can't be detected by most radars. Even if detected, there's no radar that can track and get a lock on it properly, which is a must if a missile has to be guided to hit an F-22. A conflict initiated by Iran would see the United States trying to cripple the Iranian Air Force to gain air superiority. F-22 will be the tip of the spear for such an onslaught. Raptors will certainly see aerial duels with F-4, as the Phantoms make up a significant portion of Iran's air capability. F-22 is a fighter which is 2 generations ahead of F-4s. It's the crown jewel of the American Air Force, and even today it can't be exported to any country as per federal law. In the decades since F-4s were provided to Iran, there's been no enhancement, whereas F-22 has seen significant upgrades. This makes the gap even wider. Also, the American military has the full idea of the capabilities of F-4s, whereas Iran has little knowledge about the Raptors. It's most likely that the situation encountered in 2013 will be repeated when an F-22 takes on F-4s. The F-4 pilots will have no idea about F-22's presence, as the radar available in the F-4s is almost an antique one. But few things will change this time. F-4s will be shot down, unlike last time. Also, Raptor pilots will have no incentive to move in close for weapon inspection, and they'll knock out the F-4s from beyond visual range, BVR. Here, the long-range AIM-120D missiles will come into play. The missile, guided by the powerful AN/APG-77 radar, is expected to have a very high kill rate against a large, non-stealthy fighter like F-4s. All in all, we can say that the 2013 encounter can be taken as an indicator of what Iran may face if it goes to war against the United States.
Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.